Share your love and creativity for baking. Bake more memories with tried and trusted Royal Baking Powder. Last week on the Tastemaster SA, 14 hungry bakers were introduced to the new and improved Tastemaster kitchen. Pairing up for the first challenge, they had to bake a Battenberg cake featuring a unique checkered pattern. It was Team Rio and Wahid who earned the first Royal Baking Powder pin of the competition.
Contestants, the tension in here is tangible as we enter our first elimination challenge of season 5. Of course, the winner of this season will receive 150,000 Rand, courtesy of Capitec Business Better Never Rests. And this capital boost will be the star ingredient to take your baking career to the next level.
My dreams are to open a dessert catering company, so this 150K from Capitec will definitely be a good start for the business.
My life goal is to build a platform where I can encourage up-and-coming bakers to achieve their dream. And with the 150,000 Rand cash incentive from Capitec, that dream could be possible.
The winner will also receive 100,000 Rand to spend with Samsung, 100,000 Rand worth of baking equipment from KitchenAid, and a blast chiller from Electrical Industries Online worth 65,000 Rand.
Woo! The 6 of you in the front row are baking for your position in the competition. Today you have no partner to rely on, so you're going to need to put in double the effort, because by the end of today's bake, 2 of you will be going home. Pumla, do you think that you deserve to be in the elimination round?
With the bake from last challenge, definitely.
Muli, do you?
I don't know if it's deserved, but I feel like what we put out isn't our best, and it's not my best.
Now for today's theme. Often when we look for inspiration when it comes to sweet treats and bakes, we look to Europe. Places like France, Italy, Portugal. But right here on our very own doorstep, we have the most amazing indigenous produce.
Africa is making big things happen in the food world. And today's challenge is all about celebrating local flavors and ingredients. And with that, I'm not only referring to South Africa, but Africa itself.
Today, we are celebrating our African pride. To get you inspired, we're sending you off on a masterclass with somebody who is renowned for their knowledge on indigenous ingredients. You have the privilege and honor of going on a masterclass with Tapiwa Guzha.
My name is Tapiwa Guzha, and I'm Zimbabwean based in Cape Town. I've been living in Cape Town since 2005, when I came to study molecular and cell biology. And I did that for about 14, 15 years, including my PhD all the way to postdoc. And eventually I decided to leave the academic space behind and move into using ice cream to celebrate continental flavors. So we make ice cream using African ingredients, and we're doing that for the last 6 years or so. I chose to work in ice cream kind of as a happenstance. It wasn't an intentional choice, but what I found useful about it is ice cream is very approachable for most people. If I can get you to try something based on its flavor alone initially, I'm more likely to convince you to enjoy the original ingredient itself. For my masterclass, I'm going to bring in a few different ingredients from around the continent, and most of them are known for savory reasons. We've got some sorghum, we've got some egusi, and some millet, and we're going to show the contestants how to use some of those ingredients to make cake.
For their first masterclass outside of the Tastemaster studio, contestants head to a beautiful kitchen in the heart of the Constantia wine region, an area world-renowned for culinary excellence and the perfect place to be inspired.
So I'm looking around me and it's this beautiful house, and I'm just super excited for what's going to happen inside the kitchen.
All right, so welcome to today's masterclass. We've got a bunch of different things here, some that I've used to make a few other dishes ahead of this meeting, and some of them are just here for context. So we've got some red and white sorghum over here. I popped the sorghum, then I ground it into a flour. And across the continent, different people roast grain, grind it into a powder, then you eat that like a long journey. It's made with like road food, like patkos, because you eat the grain, drink a lot of water, it fills you up. And then over here, we've got egusi. The egusi is normally a stew or a soup in most people's minds, but it's called egusi because it's named after these bitter melon seeds. These feel a little bit like almonds with a little bit of sunflower seed in there as well. A little bit bitter when raw, so if you toast them, they mellow out a little bit. Then we got some fire roasted peanuts here as well. And these are a staple in so many different cuisines across the continent. I'm Zimbabwean and peanut butter is kind of like part of your birthright. And then here we've got red finger millet, cousins to sorghum. The important thing to note here is if you're gonna use sorghum or millets in your baking, you have to pre-boil them first. Otherwise, by the time it comes, it's just like hard rock. And then we've got, of course, masonja, mopani caterpillars.
Mopani worms? I don't think so. I think it's gross.
There's a lot of prejudice and judgment against this ingredient. So this is about demystifying the ingredient and helping people realize its value. If you grind mopani caterpillar into a flour and you put that into baking, it gives you a nutty aroma and a nutty flavor.
My favorite African dish is pap with mopani worms.
And the impepo, of course, most people know it for like spiritual practice and ancestral connection. But the first step for me was recognizing, okay, if you can burn it, then the smoke, you can use this to smoke things. The dish you're going to be focusing on today is umvubo. And umvubo is a Xhosa word for a dish that's pap and sour milk. And I love playing around with this particular combination of ingredients because it's almost ubiquitous across the continent. Different cultures will use pap and sour milk in different ways. All right, so to start off with, I'm gonna make a profiterole. So I've got my water in the pot here with some butter. Get a pinch of salt, pop that in there as well. And then I like to put a little bit of baking powder as well, just to give a bit more lightness, because maize meal is obviously not as elastic as wheat would be. My butter water mix is coming to a boil, so I'm just gonna add my maize meal and then immediately start stirring that through so that it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot and burn. And just like with any other choux pastry, you're looking for the skin to start forming on the pot and for it to pull away from the pot. And already for me, the smell is already different. I can smell, you know, at the bottom of the pot when you make pap, that goko or iskoko, that crust, I can already smell that. And that's part of what I'm trying to evoke with this dish as well. I think I'm happy with that. So I'm gonna crack in 2 eggs. Let's see. So now finally, our pastry is ready for baking. So I'm just gonna put that into some pre-greased muffin cups, shall we say, and then pop that in the oven to bake for 45 minutes at about 180.
I like how he keeps everything as simple as possible. He doesn't overcomplicate things, which is what I think we kind of do as chefs. We have such an eye for perfection.
And now we're gonna focus on making our chantilly cream, which is essentially going to be icing sugar, amasi, and fresh whipping cream. And what's different about this particular approach is I've taken the amasi and I've run it through a cheesecloth so it's firmer than it normally would be, because you want a bit of body to it when you whip it. About 120 grams of this thick amasi, 325 mils of fresh cream, and let's get some sugar going in there. And we just want to whip this until we get stiff peaks. Time to grab our little goodies and move on to the next step. All right, so our pastry should be cool at room temperature because we're gonna add that whipped chantilly cream. They just pop out nicely. The next thing we're gonna do is dunk the little heads in our curd here. So I made a curd using a bit of lemon and a bit of hibiscus flowers as well. Almost every part of the continent and the globe has indigenous hibiscus species to that region because it's a very old plant that came from when the continents were all part of the supercontinent structure. Their pH is very close to like 2 to 2.5, which means they're very sour. And I'm just gonna dump the tops in some of this curd here. And this is now our amasi component. So that's the final dish, that's umvubo, pap and sour milk. I think relatively easy to make, accessible for people at home, and a different take on a very familiar flavor combination and experience.
I was very skeptical about how his choux pastry was going to come out, but I'm amazed at the final product.
Okay, so here's our collection of dishes that I've come up with. Kelewele is a snack from West Africa. It's deep-fried plantains with peanuts, ginger, chili, and garlic. Ultimately, it's a banana loaf, but I've changed how to make this particular thing. The bulk of the batter beyond the flour is the plantain. This is the gusi, Swedish almond cake. That's the inspiration point. Because they remind me so much of almonds. It will be familiar enough, but still different as well. And then here is our chigugu, the sorghum that was toasted. Pop the sorghum, put it in a blender or spice grinder, strain it, and then use that as another flour. This one is nopi. Nopi is some kind of squash or gourd, typically pumpkin, cooked with a few other things in it. I made a crust using the peanuts. And then finally, this is using our red finger millet, a carrot cake. Took out the carrots, put in sweet potato instead. I like to have a bit of crunch, so also kind of like a poppy seed adjacent kind of texture, but I didn't want to use poppy seed, so I took my red finger millet, boiled that through on the stove, but it was like really, really overcooked. Put that in the batter as well, and then when you bake it, it will firm up and get crunchy again. This is our selection of treats. Why don't you join me around the counter here and get some tasting going?
I'm definitely loving the cassava banana bread cake. The flavors are just delightful, especially the pepper taste at the end.
I really do enjoy the hibiscus curd that he has on top of the pap choux. It is absolutely amazing to taste.
The chocolate cake was my favorite. It was fudgy and everything you want from a chocolate cake.
Clearly, there were some favorites in here. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves and you learned something from the experience, and I'll see you back in the kitchen where maybe you apply some of this newly acquired knowledge.
Who will influence the nation with their creative bakes? Bake more memories with tried and trusted Royal Baking Powder.
Guys, I'm sure you're feeling inspired and filled with pride from all the amazing flavors of this beautiful continent. Today is a double elimination, meaning that 2 of you will be going home at the end of this bake. So give it all you got.
Here is your challenge. You have 2 hours to use your newfound knowledge of indigenous ingredients to create a bake using Royal Baking Powder that is a representation of Africa on a plate. We want to see something innovative that will proudly stand on any platform as an ambassador for African sweets.
Tapiwa has been kind enough to bring along some of the ingredients that he showcased in his masterclass. You are required to use at least 2 of these ingredients in your bake today.
Are you ready to make big things happen?
Yes.
All right, so your 2 hours of cook officially start now.
Woo! Judges, our first elimination challenge. I think the nerves you can definitely feel.
In the masterclass, were they like entering into the unknown?
Yeah, this is definitely a shock to the system, I think. So for me, I'm really interested to see if people are learning about the ingredient and using it to its best quality and best potential.
Hi, Muli.
Hi.
How are you?
Stressed. Today I am making a kusista with a hibiscus syrup and a hibiscus curd.
What are you busy with?
I am boiling the madumbe potatoes for my kusista that I'm gonna make.
So the kusisa, you're gonna ferment the dough as well, or you're doing a baking powder?
Yes, I'm gonna try.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot in 2 hours.
Yeah.
I've never thought to put madumbe because it's normally potato.
Yes.
And I'm glad to see that you've peeled the madumbe first.
Thank you.
Really? What does that peel do?
It's just like this rough texture.
Oh, it's from a texture
It's a bit of bitter as well. It's like coconut fiber. And the that husk.
Smells so nutty. Instead of the almonds that I'd normally use in my short crust, I decided to include the gusi in replace of that. The KitchenAid blender was absolutely amazing. I didn't need to do anything extra other than just press a button.
So what's happening? What can we expect?
I am currently working on my sour fig and fresh fig tart. I'm making my sour figs to create a jam with a little bit of hibiscus ginger as well.
Have you made sour fig jam before?
I've made jams before, but I've never used sour figs before, so I'm using it by tasting as much as I can.
I would only caution you around the texture of the sour fig jam. That may be runnier than what you're used to.
Hi, my name is Ayanda Mkwanazi and I'm a pastry chef at 24 years old staying in Johannesburg. My dream to open up Sweet Tooth, which is an ice cream shop, is something that I'm really running on. I think it's where I truly, really shine, and being able to express and share my passion with the world is something that I cannot wait for. My love for food comes from the house that I'm currently in right now. It is my grand cooking a meal, it's my cousin attempting to cook a meal, but it's us doing everything as a family and enjoying everything that we make together. I entered Taste Master because it was an opportunity and a stepping stone for me to push my ability and prove to myself that there's more that I can do, and if with dedication and with the right focus, I'm able to achieve it.
How's it, Mel?
Hi.
How are you feeling?
Nervous, but okay with the concept of my dish. Taps, you kind of inspired me with your cream in the masterclass and using amasi, so I went with that. And actually taking it a step further, I'm baking it. So I'm making a baked amasi cream. I got a little bit of yogurt to stabilize it because amasi, I haven't had time to strain it. So I'm just gonna play on the thickness of that. And then I'm going to use mealie meal for my crumble. I'm using the egusi seeds. I loved the cake, the Sicilian cake that you made. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in my tuile.
Did you inspect your seeds?
First, getting stuff in the oven, and I'm going to start looking through them.
So because this is a hand process, sometimes you get the seed coat is still on the outside of the seed. And chewing on that is like eating a peanut shell.
Oh, really?
Right?
So this
that's
is
gonna
kind
show
of your perfect one right there.
Yeah, exactly.
But this one, you know, you would take away some stuff that you don't know. Okay, and then I'm going to set a hibiscus jelly on top of that. Also a compote, just in case.
Always great to have just like a little side option.
In case something doesn't set, and I can just have the component that I want to put in is still here. Yeah.
Steven,
hi.
You feeling strong?
Yes, I'm very happy. We are African. Those are African cuisine ingredients.
Run us through your plan for the day.
Yeah, I'm making a carrot cake here. I'm going to put some egusi nuts and also with pumpkin seeds. They're in the oven now. I'm toasting them. With my filling, I'm going to make a cream cheese but mixed with peanut butter that you inspired me.
For the topping or for the in-between? I like it still, but it's almost like in coffee territory.
And in the way that he wants to apply it, is that going to be a problem, you think? Because it's quick to redo.
This may be on top of the icing as a little bit of garnish, but I'll maybe do another batch of toasted ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Slightly lighter.
Slightly lighter, yeah.
At the moment, I'm busy with my teff and pumpkin seed cake. And in here, I have got 4 eggs, caster sugar, cake flour, teff flour, pumpkin seed flour, royal baking powder, salt, and vanilla paste. Today I'm making a vanilla amasi ice cream, and as decoration I'll be using hibiscus tea with cassava flour, as well as some chocolate work and sugar work.
There's a lot going on. I love it.
You still need to present today, no?
So I'll offer a little suggestion.
Yeah.
Chew your base. Because
yes, that's
the
a good
acid,
idea. Thank you very much.
the pH of that amasi may curdle the whole thing.
Pumla, how are you feeling?
Looking at the time, I think I have time management for this challenge.
Really?
Today I am making a sorghum financier with a mfino mascarpone mousse and then a hibiscus jelly on top. I am currently working on my mfino mousse. I didn't get the mfino that I wanted, but in my culture, any mfino is mfino, so.
And you're familiar with that?
I've done it before once,
Okay.
so
With the sorghum or without sorghum?
With the sorghum.
Ah, okay.
Really?
Yes.
Now that my Madumbi co-sister dough is combined, I need to get it into a bowl, get it covered, and get it proofed. I love a microwave that can proof dough for me.
I begin making my tuile at this moment, and this is a crucial part of the dish. And I don't think I have enough time to make 2. I get it onto a baking sheet tray, sprinkle my goosey seeds over it to bring that component, and then pop it into a moderate oven.
Ayanda?
Yes.
Busy?
Like a bee.
Like a bee.
I got to sting like a bee today. I have only one more element to go. As soon as I blind bake these in the oven, my jam is already slow cooking right now. I think maybe I should bump up the heat, eh? Time is against us. I'm quite happy with my elements so far.
Everything looks good. Have you tasted your pastry?
I tasted my pastry. It tastes quite nice.
Excellent.
I would have never imagined egusi tasted so good in a pastry.
Well, as long as you tasted it, look out for your jam there.
Yep, boiling now. Okay, we'll leave you to it.
Thank you.
Easy. easy.
Kevin,
Hi.
Mr. Cool under pressure.
I'm just trying,
Yeah.
to sort out everything because time is running out.
Oh yeah, time is ticking, time is ticking. What are you working on now? What is that?
It's a mascarpone.
Mascarpone. Okay, so
Yes.
what are you doing with that?
And I'm going to add organic peanut butter.
You got egusi going on.
Yes.
Carrot cake, which is, I assume, spiced in some
Yes,
way.
yes,
And then you're doing peanut butter as well. So you're not too worried about too many dominant flavors.
No, not at all. All these flavors are balanced.
Something smells savory here. Oh, we're puffing sorghum. You doing anything else to the sorghum now that it's puffed?
Yes, I'll be kind of doing like a popcorn honeycomb.
Oh, delish.
Mel, what are we doing? I see you got infinio of some sort here and some condensed milk.
So I want to add it to some whipped cream. It's not a huge part. I just want to bring some funk.
So how many of Tubbs' ingredients have influenced your bake?
I've got mealie meal, I've got amasi, I have okazi, I have egusi seeds as well, and hibiscus.
We said minimum 2. You said...
Double the challenge.
You said Africa on a plate. I am trying to do Africa on a plate.
Thank you for matching my energy. I appreciate it. I am obsessed and addicted to amadumbe. Already excited.
I hope it pays well.
So I heard that you were extra inspired in the masterclass because you and Tap sort of share a common ground when it comes to your specialization.
I actually just finished my degree in anthropology. I'm a chef and I want to mix the two. And your knowledge spoke to food anthropology, which is what I'm really, really interested in.
What are you working on there? What are you visiting?
So I am just blending the hibiscus curd. I tasted it and it wasn't acidic enough, so I added some lemon juice and then I blended the flowers in there as well. I'm gonna fill this inside the coup sister. And dip it in a hibiscus syrup, and then hopefully, if time allows, I can give you guys a pumpkin brittle.
Okay, so you still have a bit to do, hey?
No.
No?
I hope not.
The baking continues in the first elimination challenge of the season, and for Ayanda, panic starts to set in.
Bespoke.
Clover Mars, rich and creamy with the smooth taste you have grown to love. The taste of home, made with love by Clover.
Okay guys, so we're nearing the end of this challenge today. Is there anything to be concerned about at this stage?
I don't think I'm worried in terms of flavor. I think that you've been complimentary about the combination that they're making. For me, I just want them to finish.
I'm a little bit concerned with anyone working with hibiscus and gelatin. The gelatin may be affected by the pH of the hibiscus.
Yes.
Yeah, especially if you add heat to the equation.
Okay.
So I hope the rest of them haven't fallen into a similar predicament.
Oh my word, that could be
disastrous.
It really could.
Today I think I might finish on time. Right now my two worries that I haven't made my curd and my hibiscus jelly has not set, so I need to kind of push myself now. I like the little seeds that pop in your mouth, which you kind of get from the natural fresh figs and the actual sour figs. So I'm hoping that I create a really nice jam that's going to complement my filling.
Now that my custard is done, I'll be putting it in the blast chiller to quickly chill, then add my amasi and put it into the ice cream machine. So it's very easy to curdle before you put it in the ice cream machine. And the ice cream machine can also cause crystals if your egg custard is not cooked properly. So don't curdle.
Excellent. Well done.
Priscilla, you're making ice cream for essentially the ice cream master.
Yes.
Risky or just bravery in its outright form?
Bravery in its outright form.
My name is Priscilla Hart. I am from Brackenhurst, Alberton.
Currently, I am a baker working from home. Unfortunately, my son was born very premature. And the one day my friend made a cake and I thought to myself, well, I can do that too. And I went to baking so that I can bake from home and be with my son. My son was about 6-year-old and out of the blue he said to us that he wants to do ballet. We really, really do support his passion.
I think that she makes delicious food. She makes it with passion. It takes time, but also tries to make it as best as she can.
I entered the Taste Master to challenge myself, to gain more knowledge, and then obviously meeting new people that's in the same field I am.
The tuile is in the oven and I am opening it up and trying to feel the consistency of it. I have to cut the shape. I decide I'm going to cut the shape of Africa in the oven so that the heat is enough to keep it pliable.
What I'm doing to try and finish on time is pray. So I'm freaking out now. It's 15 minutes left and I haven't fried my couscous at all. It's not at the temperature that I want, but I really need to get it in, so.
Quickly have to do my buttercream. The rest is all done, then it's really just putting it all together.
Contestants, we have just entered the final 10 minutes of this challenge. Let's go.
Let's go.
Come on.
10 minutes left and I'm still doing my curd.
I just need to finish up my tart. I have already started building my tart. With 10 minutes to go, I just have to whip up some last element. I'm frazzled.
My plan for the brittle is to make it into a crumb to give it a crunch element. So I need to put it in my KitchenAid processor and blitz it up till it's a crumb. And then I make a last minute decision to add desiccated coconut.
I get my jam on. My jelly did not work out, so I'm very happy to have this on the plate right now.
So I see you smoking something. It looks like hibiscus flowers as well. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah, basically I want to put this over the dish. I wanted to give it the idea of umpepo. So literally I have the smoked, but I also have another reveal. So I have, you said Africa on a plate, so I'm going to do Africa on a plate.
I need to put my couscous inside the syrup, cut out a hole so that I can add in my curd, and then roll it in the brittle and coconut mix.
I think that's enough for now. I need a whisk. I am trying to finish up my tarts and build them up together. I still don't have any cream or the filling of my tart. I'm trying to whip up everything that I can at the quickest time that I have. I need exactly 4 minutes to finish this with just this 4 minutes left.
Now I'm assembling my bake in the bottom. It is the sorghum financier. And then in the middle layer is the fino mousse, which gives it a pop of green. On top is my hibiscus jelly. And then to end it off, I'm doing the honeycomb popped sorghum.
Just sense, we've got 30 seconds to go.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
Final moments. I've asked Muli to help me dish up my ice cream. I won't have time because I'm still assembling my cake.
I'm trying to do everything that I can. I am piping all the jam that I have. I am putting the last elements to the last second. The last dollop of jam is going on that tart.
10, 9, 8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's it. No more baking.
Well done.
Honestly, this was quite a tough challenge, but I'm so happy with how everything came out. It has to be enough to keep me safe. I put my whole heart in there.
I feel really relieved. I didn't think I would get it done, but I got all my elements on the plate.
Dit het eintlik uitstekend gegaan. Ek het ongelukkig net so 1 of 2 laaste decorating elemente nie opgekry nie. Maar my roomys is op, dis al wat saak maak.
I'm happy with the outcome. I'm most proud of combining the peanut butter with the mascarpone cheese and icing, which is something that I've never done, but it came out perfect.
This challenge went pretty according to plan, except for my jelly.
There's some elements I'm not happy with on how they came out, but I think the pop sorghum with honeycomb is definitely gonna blow their minds a little bit.
Make big things happen and enter this week's viewer competition.
We want to see your interpretation of today's challenge. Bake an African ingredient-inspired creation using royal baking powder. Upload it onto socials by replying to the competition post and using the hashtag #TheTasteMasterSA and hashtag #BakeMoreMemories. And you could win a KitchenAid stand mixer of your very own.
Happy baking!
Who will influence the nation with their creative bakes? Bake more memories with tried and trusted royal baking powder.
So judges, I'm very excited about the flavors that we're going to be experiencing today. Most of the contestants that have ended up in the Elimination Challenge are here due to incompletion of their previous bake. But at this point, it seems like everybody's finished and nobody held back.
Yep.
That excites me.
And that's a great way to enter an Elimination Challenge. Shall we bring on the first bake?
Please.
Yes, please.
I'm a little bit nervous to be going to the judging room to hear about the outcome, but at the same time, I'm relieved that we are at this stage.
Hello, Mr. Cool.
Hi.
Kevin.
It's actually a carrot cake with igusu nuts and pumpkin seeds, and I've added a little bit of warm spices.
I think it hits the mark. I think I love the texture. I love that there's lots of nuttiness in there. For me, the highlight was some of the toasted egusi on the top. When I got that, it gave me sort of coffee notes. Your sponge, compared to the last sponge that you presented us, at least this is a structural sponge, so thumbs up. I think now we need to work on finessing the presentation.
I think I agree with most of that. It's not one note, there are different dimensions to it. Once in a while, it's just like smooth carrot kind of texture, then you get the nuts here and there. And the icing for me, I really love that as well, because it's not overly sweet. Something I can imagine myself making for myself.
High praise.
Yeah, just such a step up for you. I'm proud of you. Well done.
Thank you so much.
I'm taking this to the judges and I'm definitely feeling confident about this financier. So I'm quite proud of what I'm putting out under my name. So I have a sorghum financier in the bottom with a umfino mascarpone mousse, then a hibiscus jelly on top, and then to finish it, it's a pop sorghum honeycomb with speckbone leaves.
It gives me savory vibes. That mfino layer looks like mfino in pap.
Yes, yes.
So I can't wait to experience it.
This is the kind of food that I like in terms of breaking expectations. Visually, like you're saying, it's just savory because you don't know what the bottom part is. I personally, I think would have omitted the honeycomb, but everything else I was enjoying. Yeah, interesting.
I think that you got a wonderful bake on your sponge, so that was great. Although the Infino mousse gave me nostalgic feels and I was like, oh, look, that speaks to my childhood. I think that the texture of that mascarpone didn't quite work. What I did enjoy is the texture of the blanched spinach in that mousse. I thought that was a really exciting texture. The hibiscus gel, beautifully thin. I think the texture you got perfect. I think the flavor, completely lost.
I missed the earthiness of the sorghum in the financier. That's what I was actually looking forward to because I love financier and this is almost classic financier, but I feel like every component just lacked that flavor component to lift and punch and move because everything in concept is so well executed.
I feel super, super nervous. Everyone did such a great job that I don't know where I'm gonna sit in terms of judging. What I've made for you guys today is a Madumbi Kusista, and I've also put in a hibiscus curd, and I've put the Kusista in a hibiscus syrup. And then on the bottom there and covered in it is a pumpkin seed brittle crumb with some coconut as well.
What is the flavor in the dough?
I have cardamom, cloves, ginger, and a bit of cinnamon as well.
That for me is a really delicious guinya. I think that the spice element is there. It's very subtle though, so I don't know that I resonate with kusista. Texture of the hibiscus curd could have been a little more robust. So I think if you'd done a jam instead.
Yeah.
I love the brittle in the big chunks. The texture was really exciting. So every now and then you'd bite and you'd get this vicious crunch and that pumpkin flavor.
I really liked it, clearly. Mine was the smallest though. It feels in texture authentic to a kusista. So the coconut is there. The nature of the dough and the fryer, like you're saying, the cook of it feels authentic. The spices I agree were muted. Unlike you, the brittle
Hated.
I did not like this at all. But overall, I really loved it.
I think the components that they highlighted, which were excellent, are excellent. That's a great bake, that's a great texture. I actually loved the understated color spectrum of your whole presentation. Really liked that. So thank you for awesome effort. I think this was great work. Yeah.
I'm quite nervous. I hope I am going to get out of elimination. It's definitely up to the judges' palates and how they feel about it. In front of you, you've got a egusi, mascarpone, and sour fig tart. Underneath the tart, you've also got the sour fig jam. And then the cream on the tart is a mascarpone cream cheese with a little bit of goat cheese as well in there, whipped up with some cream as well.
Ooh, ooh.
I love the finesse. Does it showcase and blurt out the flavors of Africa? I think what you've done is taken the flavors of Africa and channeled into something that could be sold anywhere in Europe. That's my experience of it.
Feels well balanced for what it could be. Feels inappropriate for what it should be. The agusi in the shell, I have to strain to find it. And then the sour fig and the jelly jam, it almost feels like a strawberry fig jam kind of feeling. We really are struggling to find the flavors of home. Yeah.
In terms of technicality, I can't fault this tart, but in terms of the brief for showcasing our ingredients to the rest of the world, I think there it comes short for me.
Still to come, with mixed reactions from the judges so far, how will Melissa and Priscilla fare?
Better never rests, so be the star to take your baking to the next level with Capitec.
Walking up to all the judges and I'm feeling nervous because you never know. I haven't fully tasted this dish, and is it all gonna work?
Ooh.
All right.
Mel, you're serving us the drama, hey?
Yes, I'm trying to bring it today. You wanted Africa on a plate, and I wanted to provide that in a literal sense. And then inside, the baked amasi cream with the maize meal crumble.
There's some egusi in there on the inside as well?
Yes, sorry, yes, there is egusi.
Mel, this is such a sensory experience. So many components, almost like evoking emotion. I would have liked a little bit more acidity in the amasi, you know, and I would like a little bit more tartness. Technically, just tighter.
I've got a lot of thoughts.
Let's hear them.
I think mostly beautiful thoughts. When you eat pap, that's been cooked on a fire.
Yeah.
The crust at the bottom of the pot is the twill.
Yeah.
The smoke is the smoke from the fire. Right? So that twill alone, for me, was already like really exciting because of what it was evoking, with some minor tweaks and feedback adjustments. Yeah, for sure. I loved it.
Thank you.
I think it was a beautiful, elegant dessert. A little bit too sweet for me. Had you kept the integrity of the amasi and its acidity, I think it would have shone a bit more. Just a few tweaks and it would have been perfect. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Taps' masterclass inspired me to just go a little beyond, but also stay true to yourself. 2 people are going home today, and it ain't me.
This is so dainty and so pretty and just all things happy making. But here's what I want to know, Priscilla. You are presenting an ice cream to the ice cream maestro himself.
Who's that?
Take a guess.
No, you didn't tell that yet, but I'm grateful for his tip. Thank you very much. Well, I chose a recipe that I'm very familiar with. I can substitute easily out of that. So I substituted some flour with the teff flour and pumpkin seed flour, the vanilla amasi ice cream, and inside it has dollops of raw peanut butter buttercream. The pink was meant to be a gel, but it's like a sauce now. It's a hibiscus tea.
Texture, amazing. I like the lightness of the cake. Not sure if I'm picking up exactly on the grains you used. Hibiscus, not sure it had any business in the mix. And then, of course, it makes my business to speak about ice cream.
Yes, please.
A little bit too thin for me and light in flavor. And I don't know if it's just you didn't have enough time to churn it, but it's a little bit icy as well. But I enjoyed that, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a completely cohesive offering. Like the chocolate there for me, personally, I don't think that played a significant role. I think you threw everything at it. It's got to be part of the dish. If it's going to be served, and the same with the syrup, etc., if it's there, it's got to be a part of the flavor component. I just felt like there was not a lot of everything coming together, boom.
So for me, you can tell that you are an experienced baker. So I have to commend you for your substitutions. I mean, the crumb on this is as good as any sponge I'm sure you've ever made. The amount of icing was too much. But yeah, like a relatively good bake, just some errors and kinks here and there, but I'm very impressed with that sponge.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, we have a very
super hard,
difficult decision. A double elimination.
Yeah.
We had no disasters. So it's you know, it becomes even more difficult. And at this stage, the tiniest thing becomes the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So you ready, judges?
I don't know.
Well, contestants, you had your first taste of an elimination challenge. We asked you to bring it, and you brought it. You presented innovative and beautiful bakes today. Congratulations.
Today was all about celebrating African indigenous ingredients. And we had the honor of learning and absorbing so much knowledge from Tapiwa. So can we all give him a huge round of applause for joining us?
Thank you very much. It has been an absolute pleasure. As much as I was able to share what I know, I'm so grateful for the opportunities that I got to learn from so many of you. And I took away so many unique lessons that I can promise you are going into my ice cream tomorrow morning. So thank you all very much for that as well.
High praise indeed.
Yeah. Right, guys, this has been extremely difficult. But would Mel and Pumla please step forward?
I am wanting to cry. Why are they calling my name first? Tears are about to come down.
I'm thinking this is two people, and I'm like, okay, two people are going home. My heart is beating really fast.
You are safe.
Now for the difficult part, telling you which two contestants are going home. If I call your name, please step forward.
I'm shaking in my boots. I don't know what to think. I'm just nervous at this point.
Priscilla, please step forward. Ayanda. The two of you are very technically strong bakers. The brief today was to create a bake that you could proudly display on a pedestal to represent African sweet treats. And although technically your sponge was perfect, your tart was perfect, the judges felt that it wasn't on brief. It's been a short journey, but it's been wonderful having you in the Taste Master kitchen. We all have no doubt that you're going to go forward and continue to bake amazing bakes.
It's heartbreaking, really, but I never thought I'd be in this kitchen, so it was really nice to be here. I'm gonna carry on doing everything that I do, carry on a passion that I carry in my heart, and this is not the last you see of me. I think Sweet Tooth is going to be bigger than it could ever be.
What's next for me? Carry on my business and helping her son to become the best ballet dancer ever.
I feel really, really devastated that Ayanda's going home and I'm gonna miss her.
For the rest of you, pay attention to the brief. When it gets this tight, this competitive, the smallest thing becomes the biggest thing. The brief remains the premium priority. Everybody can bake, but how well can you execute the brief? Good luck for the next challenge. We'll see you then.
Do you own a small baking or home business? A prize of 50,000 Rand is waiting to be claimed, courtesy of the Tastemaster SA and Capitec Business. To enter, post a video to Instagram sharing your small business story, your journey to success so far, and how you'll use this Capitec boost to further the growth of your business. Tag Capitec Bank and Tastemaster SA and use hashtag #BetterNeverRests and hashtag the Tastemaster SA to enter. Entries close on Sunday the 21st of July. T's and C's apply and can be found on the tastemaster.co.za. From our family to yours, the Tastemaster SA, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.